start to watch us on time.
How are you doing public comment? Will email things or?
Yeah, people can email, they can comment. But unfortunately, we haven't gotten many.
That's okay, as long as you're providing the opportunity, that's all.
Yeah.
Sure.
When I had signed in, I was told I was the 7th.
Yeah, there's
I have
couple
no
on.
idea what version of the zoning amendments we're passing tonight. I have both of them on, Doug. Although I know that the 20% off-street parking is incorporated into the large ordinance, so I figured just in case something would happen where.
Because if somebody wants to appeal something, they want the department to still, the same way could work on those plans. But
Yeah.
there's one.
Exactly, that's why I had it that way, so we'll see.
At first I was saying, why do both? And then I said, oh, very wise man.
Yeah, better just to be safe.
Okay, so in a second, I will have the link on. We are. My computer's running slow.
How are things making out as far as notification of property owners in the district? That are gonna be-
All the letters went in the mail, and we even got a few back. And we're gonna have the postings ready in the next week or so, and Ken will start posting immediately. So we'll be well before the 30 days, or well before the week that you need for the physical posting, and certainly ahead of the mailing requirement.
Jacob, that's for the meeting on July 30th, I believe.
Yeah, the 28th.
28th. And you
28th.
you guys do want me, this is Donna, you do want me there on the 28th, right?
Definitely, I think so. I think that there might be interest for that one enough to do that.
Okay.
Since we actually had to notify everybody on that one.
And 7 PM?
Right.
Okay. All right. It's on my book. Thank you.
Oh my
All right,
gosh.
it's 7 o'clock.
Give me
so
1
we-
second. I'm posting it right now. Okay. Now you're good. It's posted.
Jim came. Couple more. Well, surprise visitors. Nice to see you here again.
Robert, would you introduce me to the surprise visitors?
Surprise visitors are the Petries. I say that.
Jim is here and Doug?
Well, Doug is here, but we have two DePetris. DePetri.
Oh,
DePetri.
well, hello.
All right.
Jamie and James.
Jamie and James, yes. All the way from Philadelphia. Okay, we rolling?
Yep, we're live.
All right, let's call this meeting to order at 7:01 PM. And the first thing we should do is have our Pledge of Allegiance. Jacob, you want to lead us?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States.
United States of America,
Public for which it stands,
One
under God.
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
well,
Okay. Okay, first order of business is the approval of the June 24th, 2020 work session minutes. By a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion that we approve the June 24th minutes.
Okay.
and I'll second the motion, Robert.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Okay, public comments on the agenda. I don't see anybody out there.
Right. There's
making a public
nothing,
comment.
nothing on Zoom. If anyone wants to be recognized, I believe you have the capability to unmute yourself. So,
Anybody? Okay, I guess we have no public comments. Let's go to the public hearings. We have two on the agenda. The first is a proposed amendment to section 305.4 of the Smithfield Township zoning ordinance, chapter 27. Anyone like to comment on that? Ron, would you like to say anything about what exactly it is?
Well, what we are doing here, or what we're proposing to do, is that, as you are aware, a few years ago, the township adopted a mixed-use development option for property in the township, customarily called section 305. This is a very specific amendment to that mixed development option. It is amending section 305.4, capital B, parent 1, whereby presently the ordinance permits 10% of all-street parking is allowed in the area between the state road right-of-way and the nearest principal building. This amendment is making that percentage to be increased to 20%. So again, 20% of the required all-street parking spaces for each lot may be located in the land area between the state road right-of-way and the nearest principal building. That's the only change with respect to this particular provision with this ordinance.
All right, if there's no discussion on this, I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay.
Or a second?
Yeah, I'll second the motion to approve ordinance number 235.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carried. Okay, proposal B, proposed multiple amendment to section 305 of the Smithfield Township zoning ordinance, chapter 27. Ron, do you want to give us a short?
And
Summary of
again, this is also an amendment to section 305, dealing with the mixed use development option, but these changes are much more extensive. Instead of an ordinance that's 2 pages long, this is an ordinance that's probably 20 pages long, and they change a lot of the particular items. I'm going to defer to Mr. Olmsted, who can give us a brief synopsis, since he's looked at this ordinance probably 12,000 times and sort of knows the major changes, so that if he can review those changes, fine, and if not, I'll be happy to review them with the chart that he was kind enough to prepare.
And this is Doug Olmsted, Development Manager for DEPG, the developer for the Smithfield Gateway project. Already had some plans in and approved by the township. However, with the changes in the retail market and for other reasons, we wanted to make a change to the plan that would allow us to actually have mixed-use structures. In this case, it would have residential and commercial in the same structures, and there were a number of items that needed to change in the mixed-use development option in order to accommodate that. So that was the reason for going through there. There were a couple of definitions that had to change. We had to change the size of the structure that would be allowed for more units to go into a building, and the height of the building, while at the same time maintaining a certain safety as far as evacuation in the case of an emergency is concerned. We also provided some clarifications as far as the screening of the building or of the project from adjoining uses. And when you go through all of those items, we do end up with a number of different changes as a result of that. And in the residential section, we are changing it so that the amount of units that are allowed in a mixed-use project, a mixed-use project has to have a minimum of 25 acres. However, if you're going with residential, you have to have 50 acres. And we now have an additional restriction or change in the density to 5 units per acre. But at least 40% of those units have to be age-restricted housing in accordance with the federal definition, which primarily is 55 and older.
I'm sorry, which is 55 or 50, Doug?
55,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
While Doug is going through, gentlemen, you should also know that the Monroe County Planning Commission looked at this and they believe that the amendments are more consistent with the mixed-use development. The other amendment was basically mixing uses, commercial, residential, et cetera. However, now mixing structures where you have commercial on the first floor and residential on the second floor, et cetera. The Monroe County Planning Commission indicated that's more consistent with what they consider to be mixed-use development option. Once Mr. Olmsted gets through, I just have one question for him. But other than that, again, there are various changes that have been made, and these changes were duly advertised. They were provided to the newspaper. They were provided to the county law library. Copies were also available here if anyone would need to look at them. So
I would agree that
everything is in
the county,
order.
this is a better definition of mixed use.
Well, because they're mixed, I mean, they're actually mixing use, the structures,
Same
not only
structure.
just the use itself, but the actual building itself.
All right.
Now, the only question I have, Doug, is the ordinance that I have here still contains the single-family dwellings. I believe that can be deleted here tonight. It's not a substantial change that would require re-advertising, but I don't want to say that unless you're comfortable with that. I know that that was discussed at the last meeting, but I don't think this was a copy that was sent to the Monroe County Planning Commission. My concern, however, though, is if we make that change this evening, it might very well then have Monroe County say you have to send it back to us, even though it's only a minor change that has nothing to do with our review, et cetera. So I would be more comfortable if the township would, and not tomorrow, obviously, but do some fine tuning later with respect to that or other things, because right now, the ordinance that I have does show that as being allowed, whether it's semi-attached two-family, multifamily, and attached single-family dwellings are permitted as of right in the development. So I would be more comfortable in not deleting it tonight.
And I'm in agreement with that, so that we can be able to proceed with that. I don't have a copy of what was actually forwarded by the township. You know, I didn't download a copy of that before I came this evening. For what was forwarded to both the Township Planning Commission and the County Planning Commission. So, but
And there were a number of them, and it could well be that the draft without the single family dwelling may have been sent, but I don't think so. I'm looking at my file. That was added sometime in either late May, early June. And the last full review by Lehigh, or by the Monroe County Planning and our Planning Commission, I think was sometime in May. So I just don't think it tracks correctly, and I would rather leave it in the ordinance that I have here in front of us right now.
actually, the last review by the county was dated June 8th.
Okay. Okay.
I think that basically covered up the other items that were in there were just some
Yeah.
housekeeping items, just to make items a little bit more clear for the reader as they proceed.
Sure.
Nothing needs to be perfect because we'll have plenty of opportunities to amend because we have other hearings on the ED zone and amendments on the ED zone that are going to go on for the next couple of months. So don't think that we won't have an opportunity to visit this again.
Brian here. Doug, I thought I remembered where you had communicated that you were fine with that. And that I don't know if we were dealing with just the planning commission, the board of supervisors, or actually the school board. I'm not even sure. But I thought in writing, in an email, you said that, yeah, you had no problem with it.
You talking about single family?
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Remember that?
we actually volunteered that. Once we saw some of the initial review letters from the planning commission, both at the township and the county level, we had some, had additional thought processes ourselves, and we submitted a new version of the ordinance that withdrew those from that. So we're in 100% agreement with the removal of single-family home sites.
Exactly, but Ron, you're saying that that's not the document we're looking at right now?
It is not. That comment was made after the Monroe County Planning Commission had commented about it.
Yep.
If you want that to be the document to be passed this evening, it can't, because I was directed to advertise what we have. If you want that change to be made, it has to go back to Monroe County Planning Commission for review, and it's got to go back to our planning commission for review.
And then given that.
Okay, all right.
It does not affect what we're trying to accomplish in proceeding, especially since we're not proposing any single-family home sites in our project anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
My preference would be then to pass this as is and make those amendments along with the other comprehensive amendments that we need, including the indoor shooting ranges, et cetera.
Right,
those
that's
types of things.
another one.
Right.
Although it's not with this one, it deals with the indoor shooting range on the ED zone, so.
Right. And we're assuming we'll put that into an amendment to the ED zone after the ED zone is passed, the enterprise zone, sometime.
That'll be our first amendment. Yeah.
Right.
So,
And we've been together a long time, so there's a high level of trust here. We have no intention of building single family.
Absolutely.
Jim DePetris developer.
all right, well, given all this, and unless there's any other discussion, I would like to call for a motion on this amendment, on this proposal.
So then I would make that motion to adopt ordinance number 236.
All right, and I'll second it. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, unanimous. That's passed. On to any new business?
Do you want to officially close it?
Are you guys done with me?
And you should officially close the hearing
Right.
at this point.
All right, the hearing is officially closed at this point. Now we're moving on to.
You need
any
a
new
motion
business.
to close the hearing.
You know, motion to close, and then you should really go back to your meeting and just reconfirm the two motions you made to adopt those orders.
All right, so do I hear a motion to close the public hearing portion of the
Yeah.
meeting?
So moved.
I'll second.
I'll second.
Okay, second and by Brian Barrett. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, closed. All right, let's move on to new business. Is there any new business?
Well, first, according to the solicitor's opinion, I'd like to move that we confirm the motions to adopt ordinances 235 and 236.
Okay,
Yeah, that's a good point, Jacob, because the public hearing is closed. Now we have to, at a public meeting, adopt them.
Right.
And that you're making that motion, correct?
Correct.
all right, I'll second the motion.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion carried. Now let's move on to new business. Is there any new business?
I think
Anything?
there's a couple things.
Yes,
Yeah.
okay.
Let your court reporter know.
I can't hear you.
Let your court reporter know that she can go away.
Yeah.
Not that I don't enjoy spending time with you all.
Thank you, Don.
Fully.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good night, Donna.
Good night.
Brian, you had some new business.
Yeah, I think there's a request for the VFW for a special activities permit over the 4th of July. I think Lois has it on the agenda. Did she?
I think that's on the agenda for tomorrow's work session.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she put that on the agenda for the work session tomorrow, along with Creative Works, the website hosting, and transferring funds from the general fund to the park fund for operating expenses. So that's what's on for tomorrow.
Well, do you want to address them now, Jacob and Robert, or do we just go? Are we going to pay bills tonight? Did Lynn get that ready for us?
Yeah,
We have bills.
Lynn did prepare the bills.
Beautiful. And Jacob, you reviewed them, right?
I did. And everything was squared away. If you have any questions, let me know.
All right, so
Are we going to address the $15,000 transfer tomorrow then, I guess?
all right, so we'll address
Right.
both of those tomorrow in the work session at 4.
Right, but didn't
Okay.
earlier when we had the meeting with Brian Smith, didn't somebody want to make a motion to set in motion some sort of plan for acquisition of property?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah. Acquisition of property and the consideration of engaging a security force with 2 guards for 3 days over the upcoming weekend. And I think both of those things are very close to being arranged. Security, we're going to meet at 10:30 at Minnesink with the company representative, and then we'll travel to Marshall's Falls. Ed McCormick's going to be with us, and we're just going to take a look at how best we can protect that property, the safety of the people who are around that property and using it or trying to, and come up with some kind of a plan. I've been assured by Rosemary Brown's office that she informed the Pennsylvania State Police that this is a top priority. It's a very dangerous state road that could cause definitely could be the cause of accidents. She assures us that she'll do that. So if you haven't said that, we're going to meet with this gentleman tomorrow. It'd be the same rate that they're charging us for the 2 employees that we use down at Minnesink.
Is that 35 an hour? Is that what they got?
I'm sorry, Robert.
Is it 35 an hour? Is that what they got?
Yeah. Yeah, and it's going to be from 10 to 6 each day. And I think we talked to the Scotts again, and we're going to post no trespassing signs. We have a bunch of those. Eddie will kind of lay those out for us tomorrow. And then we got to talk to the experts about how best to control it. And I think that the ideal situation is to, number one, control the Scott lot, and he's given permission to post no parking signs on it. Maybe put a guard there, another guard over by Tony's home and his driveway at least, to discourage folks from coming on in.
Okay, so we can entertain a motion to do that tomorrow then at the work session, once we know the definitive figures after the meeting. Do we also want to address acquiring an individual's property tomorrow, or do we want to talk about engaging a process tonight, or do we want to do that tomorrow?
Well, I think engaging the guards we could do tonight. It's the very same.
Oh, okay.
Same as Robert said, it's the same price, 2 individuals, although this time it's going to be 3 days as opposed to 2. But that's easily done tomorrow. That's not a big deal, right?
No, but if you want to do that, then you can. I wouldn't.
Well, maybe we should save it till tomorrow after we have surveyed the area with the guards to make sure that that's as much as we need, or maybe we need more, or maybe we need more hours, but we'll have a better idea once we go around to the locations with them and see what they're facing.
Yeah, we got to be on site. We got to walk the site and take a look at it. It's not going to be easy, as you know. We all know that territory.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Right. Thunderstorms forecast for Friday and Saturday. That's good news.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Robert? Well, then my prayers have been answered.
Right. But Sunday is supposed to be very nice.
Yeah.
2 out of 3, you're
You
okay.
got to swipe up from the bottom.
There we go. Yep. Friday, Saturday, very hot, thunderstorms. Sunday, partly sunny. Monday, thunderstorms as well.
It'll be a hell of a weekend.
Tell the guards to bring umbrellas.
Well, they're going to bring, yes. They'll be there in uniform. Well, we'll see, as you said. We'll talk about it tomorrow.
Well, why don't we save that for tomorrow, and also figuring out some way to proceed as far as a purchase of the park house we've talked about. Okay, we can do that tomorrow at the work
Yeah,
session.
man, right.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's move on to bills to be paid.
Okay. So the total of the bills is $55,960. That includes our typical expenses to the Teamsters for the Health and Welfare Fund. Monroe County Control Center, I guess that's a bill that's from last year actually, but they only sent it recently. The only thing that wouldn't be routine is Sun Litho print, and that was for $519.50, and that includes the postage and the printing for our notification for the Economic Development Zone and map meeting on July 28th. We'll get a separate bill probably next week for the physical, for the laminated postings that Ken will begin placing on those properties. And then the other thing would be the $10,000, no, that's tomorrow. No, everything else on there is normal, and then payroll from the 18th of June.
Okay, do I hear a motion to approve the bills?
I'll make the motion.
Okay, I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion carried. Moving on, public comments on anything?
Nothing online. If anyone
Okay.
on Zoom wants to engage, you're more than welcome to. Just state your name so we can get your comments.
Anybody? Zoom? I guess not. All right, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that motion.
Okay. Meeting adjourned at
Got to call the vote. 7:25.
7:25. All right.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
All right, so tomorrow, 10:30, Menace Inc., whoever wants to be there,